Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to start with our next lecture of international finance. We are going to have an overview of the previous lecture now. That includes the overview of the last lecture, which was lecture number 2. We discussed the goals of the multinational corporations, that why companies go multinational or why do they prefer to become international, why don't they stay in domestic standards, and why would they like to be multinational. The key theories which were involved in becoming or making a company multinational or taking them on international level were comparative theory. In comparative theory, we discussed that companies or the countries become specialized in certain products where they feel that they have the specialized type of products or specialized type of services, and in that regard they want to go on international level, since they know that the other countries might not be having that type of service to that standard, or the other country might not have that type of product to that standard, and their product is of a high quality because of their specialization, so they prefer to go on international level. Companies or countries जब चाहते हैं कि that they want के इंटरनेशनल लेवल के ऊपर अपने बिजनेस को मूव किया जाए, एक पॉइंट आ जाता है कंपैरेटिव स्टैंडर्ड का, जब कंट्रीज में कोई प्रोडक्ट्स या सर्विसेज उस लेवल पे बन रहे हों कि जो कि दूसरे कंट्रीज में उस लेवल पर ना हो या फिर उतनी हाई क्वालिटी के ना हो, दैट इज कॉल्ड स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रोडक्ट्स. उन स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रोडक्ट्स या सर्विसेज को लेके जब कंट्रीज कंपैरेटिव एडवांटेज हासिल कर लेते हैं, तो दे वांट टू गो अब्रॉड एंड दे वांट टू लॉन्च देयर बिजनेसेस ऑन international level. That is called the comparative advantage. Secondly, we discussed the imperfect market theory, where we discussed that the factors of productions are immobile. Now what does that mean? That obviously if you want to launch a business or if you are doing a business in Pakistan, so the factors which are helping you to produce are not, all of them are not mobile. So you can't take all the buildings, machineries and everything to the other country and start your business. So since the factors of productions are immobile and the market is imperfect in this regard, so obviously there is an edge for the businesses that they can start their business on international level. हमने डिस्कस किया that factors of productions जो हैं वो मोबाइल नहीं होते, उनको आप एक जगह से दूसरी जगह इजीली मूव नहीं कर सकते. इन दैट मार्केट वी डिस्कस कि मार्केट्स जो हैं वो इम्परफेक्ट हैं. जब मार्केट्स इम्परफेक्ट होती हैं, इन दैट केस दूसरे कंट्रीज में आपको एज या बेनिफिट मिल जाता है टू यूज देयर रिसोर्सेज विच आर अवेलेबल इन अदर कंट्रीज, एंड देन यू आर मूविंग योर बिजनेस फ्रॉम योर कंट्री टू द अदर country. Then third one, which is quite common and we understand that कि जब आपका product market में launch होता है, so you know that you are thinking in terms of Pakistan, for example. When we are discussing in terms of Pakistan, okay fine, let's say that the product in Pakistan has matured and it is being marketed and established in Pakistan on the standard that it has been launched in Islamabad, Lahore, Karachi, everywhere, and it has got success in all the areas. Now since you are at the maximum level of standard on that product and your product has been matured, और अब आप लोग ये फील कर रहे हैं कि this is the time कि आप अपने product को लेके किसी foreign country में जाएं and you want to gain more profits. ऑब्जेक्टिव जब हमने डिस्कस किए थे MNCs के, मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज के, देन वी डिस्कस्ड कि जो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स होते हैं मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज के, दे आर टू मैक्सिमाइज द वेल्थ of the shareholders and to maximize the value of their company. So obviously जब आपकी company launch होती है even wherever in the world, you want to maximize the profits. जब profits ज़्यादा होंगे तो आपकी shareholders की wealth increase होगी, क्योंकि आपके shares की value increase हो जाएगी, dividends increase हो जाएंगे. In that case obviously you are able to increase the wealth of the shareholders. Value of the multinational corporations, obviously that comes when you are moving from Pakistan to Europe, the value of the firm will be increased because you are increasing the setup of your organization, the setup of your company, and you are taking it to abroad, and you are basically dealing on international standards, so the value of the company is also increasing. दैट कम्स इन द प्रोडक्ट साइकिल थ्योरी कि जब आपका प्रोडक्ट किसी डोमेस्टिक स्टैंडर्ड के ऊपर अचीव कर लेता है टारगेट्स, देन यू ट्राई टू मूव ऑन टू द इंटरनेशनल लेवल एंड यू आर टेकिंग योर प्रोडक्ट to the international standard and you are increasing the value of your firm and you are also increasing the shareholders' wealth. Then we discussed a very important concept which is agency problem and agency costs. We discussed agency problem. Agency problem is something where the principal and agent of the firm or the company is different. अब अगर हम consider कर लें कि principal जो है वो आपका owner है company का, that also includes shareholders. अगर shareholders different हैं from the agents आपके आ रहे हैं managers. अगर आपके कंपनी के ओनर्स और मैनेजर्स डिफरेंट हैं, इन दैट केस आपके पास प्रॉब्लम अगर होने के चांसेस हैं एंड दैट प्रॉब्लम इज कॉल्ड एजेंसी प्रॉब्लम. व्हाट इज एजेंसी प्रॉब्लम? जब आपके ओनर के और मैनेजर के ओपिनियन में डिफरेंस आ जाता है, जब आपके ओनर कुछ और सोच रहे हैं और जब आपके मैनेजर्स किसी और लाइंस में सोच रहे हैं. इन दैट केस से फॉर एग्जांपल ऑब्वियसली द शेयर होल्डर्स और द owners of the firms, they want that the maximum value of the company should be achieved and the shareholder wealth will be increased. However, the manager is thinking in a way that he want to maximize his own benefit. So in that regard, he is not thinking about the value of the company. However, he is thinking in terms of the value of his own wealth. So in that case, obviously, managers के problems और managers के जो point of view है, that is different from the company's perspective. In that case, there is a problem which occurs and that is called the difference of opinion or conflict of opinion, जिसे हम agency problem कहते हैं. एजेंसी प्रॉब्लम को रिजॉल्व करने के लिए कॉस्ट्स इन्वॉल्व करनी पड़ती हैं. इन कॉस्ट्स को एजेंसी कॉस्ट्स कहते हैं. से फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आपके ओनर में और मैनेजर के ओपिनियन में डिफरेंस है, सो ऑब्वियसली आपको उस मैनेजर को मॉनिटर करना है, उस विंग को मॉनिटर करना है. दैट मॉनिटरिंग विल ऑब्वियसली बी नॉट बी फ्री एंड यू हैव टू इनकर सम काइंड ऑफ कॉस्ट्स. जो कॉस्ट्स एजेंसी प्रॉब्लम्स को मॉनिटर करने के लिए इनकर की जाती हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड योर एजेंसी कॉस्ट्स. हमने डिस्कस किया टू डिफरेंट point of views and two different criterias of the organization which were centralized and decentralized system. Since we know कि आपके owners or managers, they are two different entities and there is a problem that the problem of opinion will occur and in that case agency costs will be involved. Now if organization or the parent company जिनकी different subsidiaries different market में launch की गई हैं, they think that they can have a centralized system in which there should be only one finance manager who would be looking after subsidiary A, subsidiary B and subsidiary C. In that case, since the manager is same, तो conflict of opinion और conflict of interest के chances नहीं है और agency costs या तो minimize हो जाएंगी या completely eliminate हो जाएंगी. So centralized system is favorable to avoid agency problems. However, on the other hand, we know that sometimes it is not possible to have a centralized system. What will happen in that case? In that case, decentralized system will be adopted by the parent company since they will involve different managers for their different subsidiaries. Manager A will be looking after the company A. Manager B will be looking after the company B or subsidiary B. Manager C will be looking after the company C or subsidiary C. In that case, since parent company तो same है, उनके objectives एक ही हैं. However, क्योंकि आपके पास 3 different types के managers हैं, so there is a problem कि उन तीनों managers के आपस में point of view same ना हो और उन तीनों का conflict arise हो या maybe for example subsidiary A और B के managers की opinion is different and they are basically facing a conflict of interest and there is an agency problem. पेरेंट कंपनी का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? टू मैक्सिमाइज द वैल्यू ऑफ देयर फर्म एंड टू मैक्सिमाइज द वैल्यू ऑफ देयर शेयर्स. हाउएवर, द objective of the managers can be, or maybe they want to increase their own wealth and they are basically working for their own benefit rather than looking into or focusing into the perspective of the parent company and their objectives. In that case, obviously जो आपके एजेंसी कॉस्ट्स हैं दे विल बी हायर बिकॉज आपके पेरेंट कंपनी इन्वॉल्व करेगी एजेंसी कॉस्ट टू मॉनिटर ऑल द मैनेजर सो दैट दे आर वर्किंग फॉर द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ द मेन एंड पेरेंट कंपनी. इन दैट केस सेंट्रलाइज सिस्टम में क्योंकि मैनेजर एक ही है और सब्सिडरीज डिफरेंट हैं, एजेंसी कॉस्ट ईदर दे विल बी रिड्यूस्ड और दे विल बी very much low or there will be no agency costs. However, on the other hand, जब आपके पास different subsidiaries और different managers होंगे, so agency costs ज़्यादा होंगी क्योंकि parent company involve करेगी monitoring को for different managers, and to monitor different managers they have to bear different types of or different levels of agency costs and they have to incur high level of agency costs. So if पेरेंट कंपनी इज हैविंग सेंट्रलाइज सिस्टम, इन दैट केस क्या होगा कि आपके पास एजेंसी कॉस्ट्स नहीं होंगी या बहुत कम होंगी. अगर पेरेंट कंपनी इन्वॉल्व्स decentralized system in which there are different managers for different subsidiaries, in that case agency costs will be higher for the parent company. Then we also discussed that the international product life cycle, since we know okay fine the businesses are moving abroad and we know that businesses want to go abroad to maximize their profit. Now there is a point, how do they do that? वो किस तरह से इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में लॉन्च करते हैं प्रोडक्ट्स और वो किस तरह से आगे मूव करते हैं. सो उनका बिजनेस साइकिल वी हैड डिस्कस्ड. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दे हैव टू कंसिडर, द कंपनीज हैज टू कंसिडर लोकल डिमांड व्हेन दे स्टार्ट देयर बिजनेस इन देयर ओन कंट्री. और मे बी लेट्स टेक द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ पाकिस्तान कि अगर पाकिस्तान में आपने बिजनेस लॉन्च करना है तो ऑब्वियसली आप यूरोप के स्टैंडर्ड्स को नहीं देखेंगे, आप पाकिस्तान के स्टैंडर्ड्स को देखेंगे और आप फोकस करेंगे पाकिस्तानी लोकल डिमांड के ऊपर. Now once you have identified the local demand, then you know how to move on. In that case आप लोकल डिमांड को लेके नेक्स्ट फेज पे जाएंगे जब आपका प्रोडक्ट पाकिस्तान में लॉन्च होके सारे एरियाज में, इस्लामाबाद, पिंडी, कराची, लाहौर, everywhere it is launched and you have got success. Now you want to move abroad, so okay fine, there is a next step where you will focus where you want to launch your product. Say for example now you want to move abroad and say for example now you want to move into European region. In that case you will focus on their demands, on their standards, and then you will think how to launch your product in Europe. Then not only you have to think in terms of profits, but you have to think in terms of different criterias, that what are the economic conditions of Europe, what are the standards in Europe, what are the laws and regulations that are different from Pakistan in Europe. So you have to focus on all those criterias. Once you have identified your demand in Europe, then you can launch your product from Pakistan to international standard in European region. And after launching your product into foreign region with foreign demand, say for example in European region, now you have the edge that you can launch your foreign subsidiaries in those regions. Since you have got the demand from European region, now there is a point that you can obviously launch your foreign subsidiaries in that region. In this case, since we are discussing the example of European region, so you can launch your subsidiaries in European region. Once you have launched your subsidiaries in European region, now there comes a point that if you have a product which is quite unique or quite different and you have launched it in European region, in that case you know it that it is not possible that there shouldn't be any competitor for you in that market. जब कोई product किसी market में बहुत successful होता है, obviously दूसरे लोग भी सोचते हैं to think and to launch the same type of product and they start competing with you. Now when you know that there are competitors into the market and you want to compete with them and you want to stay still in the European region, what you would need to do is, there is a point which is the fourth point, where you should try to differentiate your product from the international standards, or you will differentiate your product from the other products in that market which are basically your competitors. In this regard, if you are able to basically launch your product different from the other markets or different from the other products which are available in that market, then you have the edge that you can sustain in that market. However, since you know you are in Europe with your different type of product and you are earning your profit, that's fine. If on the other hand, after launching your subsidiaries, you are unable to compete with your competitors and you are unable to differentiate your product with the other products in European region, what will happen? That is the last step, in which the demand will decline and foreign business will decline. And in that case, if you are having very low profit, you might have to end up from that country. So that is the whole product life cycle. In this lecture, we have discussed all this criteria, where we have discussed the goals, theories, and centralized system, decentralized system, and the product life cycle on international standards. Now moving to the next focus, where we will be basically considering the international financial management, and I will give you an overview in this lecture. In this lecture, the main objective is, first of all, to describe or explain the common methods used to conduct international business, since we have discussed that why companies or businesses want to go on international standard, but how will they do that? That is the point of our this discussion. One thing, that how would they conduct their businesses on international level. Secondly, and I will also provide a model which is given in this text, that how a model of valuation for multinational corporations will work. How would you basically value your multinational? And I will give you two different models where you can value the multinational corporations. How firms engage in international standards or international businesses, there are different points on it. First of all, there is called international trade. Second one is licensing. Then you can also start your business by adopting franchising. Joint venture is also an option for you, that if you want to start a business abroad, you can start a joint venture. Acquisition of existing operations. And finally, establishing new foreign subsidiaries. Now we will discuss all this in detail. First of all, international trade. International trade is conservative or traditional approach adopted by most of the businesses when they are trying to go on international standards. Now what does that involve? This is simply importing and exporting your products or services from abroad is called your international trade. It is used by the firms to penetrate in financial markets or other international markets, and this is the common way or the standard way of adopting or moving towards international standards. If the firm or the company faces any decline in international trade in importing or exporting, it can reduce or discontinue their businesses. Since we have discussed that if you want to go abroad for your businesses, either you can start it on the basis that you start import and exports. One thing, this is a traditional method, as we discussed कि ये एक common method है जिसके ऊपर आप international trade को focus कर सकते हैं, and it involves importing or exporting. आप simply exports करें या imports करें, that is involved or comes under the category of international trade. Generally, firms adopt this method to penetrate. Penetrate means कि आप किसी market में enter होना चाह रहे हैं. Generally, firms ये method adopt करती हैं to go abroad or to start their international business. अगर तो आपकी firm face करेगी declines in their demands or in their exporting, so there is a possibility that either आपकी firm अपना business वहाँ से reduce कर देगी या discontinue कर देगी. Internet also facilitates this type of businesses where you have different types of warehouses and you are trying to import and export from that warehouse on the basis of using the internet facility. How do they do that? Let's discuss it in detail. First of all, you might need to make your web page on which you can have all the information related to your business and all the terms and conditions are given on these web pages or on this website. Secondly, which is very important, that not only your product should be advertised on those web pages, but you should also quote the prices which you are going to charge for your products. If you are changing your prices after certain period of time, it is very much necessary that you should update your web pages or your website accordingly, so that the businesses who are basically considering your website to do business with them, they should know that you have changed your prices, and then they should basically do the business on the basis of the new prices. अगर आपके वेब पेजेस में या अगर आपके बिजनेस में कोई भी चेंज आता है, या फिर अगर आपके प्राइसेस में कोई भी चेंज आता है, उसको आपने अपने वेब पेजेस पे अपडेट करना है, which is must, क्योंकि आप अपना बिजनेस एडवर्टाइज कर रहे हैं थ्रू द वेब पेजेस. सो इट इज वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू शुड पुट ऑल द रीसेंट इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन दोज वेब पेजेस. Importers monitor the web pages, so it is very much important that whenever you are making a change in your business or terms and conditions or anything, you should inform them through updation of your web pages, because importers straight away आपको call नहीं करते, they focus on the web pages. Why do they do that? Because we know, we discussed it in the previous lectures, कि there is a possibility कि आपके country के time में और जहाँ आपका international business है उनके timing में different हो. Say for example, आप पाकिस्तान से start कर रहे हैं business and you are dealing international trade with Australia. Now we know that कि पाकिस्तान के और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के टाइम जोन में difference है. In that case, it is always easy that you should have your websites and your web pages, so that importers who want to import products from you, they should, rather than calling you on telephone, they should focus on their website anytime sitting in their countries, and then they can quote the same prices and they can place orders. So इंटरनेट ने इन चीज़ों को easy कर दिया है और इंटरनेट ने facilitate कर दिया है international trade को. You can accept your orders online, since they know what is the price of your product and they are basically trying to book the orders online, and then by using the internet facility you can accept orders. That was the whole criteria where we were focusing on the internet facility used in the international trade. Now coming to the second point, where we are discussing the licensing criteria. Second thing by which you can go abroad or you can start your business on the international standard, that is called licensing. In licensing, you are allowing a firm to provide its technology in exchanges for fee or some other benefit. License is basically giving the permission for the use of technology in exchange of fees or some other benefits. In this regard, when you give license, if for example किसी European country ने पाकिस्तान को license दे दिया है to use this type of service, what will happen? The most important criteria for these type of businesses is that they are basically considered about the quality assurance. Since the business which is done in Europe, they want the same standard to follow in Pakistan, so they are more concerned about the quality assurance, which is a bit difficult in this sense, because sitting in Europe, and how would they ensure that the same quality is applied in Pakistan? So the only main thing which is under observation or under consideration for these type of parent company is that they are trying to maintain the same type of quality in different countries when they are providing license to their different clients. Third thing, they may use manufacturers in foreign countries to produce some of their products. So they are giving license to other countries that you can produce some of their products in their own region and they can manufacture it. Why do they do that? That this can expedite or प्रोसेस को फास्ट कर सकता है, डिलीवरी प्रोसेस को, कि अगर प्रोडक्ट तो पाकिस्तान में ही बन रहा है और पाकिस्तान में इसी प्रोडक्ट की डिमांड ज़्यादा है, सो यूरोपियन कंपनी आपको लाइसेंस दे रही है कि यू कैन प्रोड्यूस द सेम प्रोडक्ट अंडर द गाइडलाइंस ऑफ यूरोपियन कंट्री and you can produce or manufacture the same product and then you are launching it in Pakistan, because in that case आपका product इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड और इंटरनेशनल नेम के साथ प्रोड्यूस पाकिस्तान में हो रहा है बट लाइसेंस यूरोपियन है, और क्योंकि आपने पाकिस्तान में ही डिलीवर करना है, सो इट विल बेसिकली स्पीड अप द प्रोसेस ऑफ डिलीवरी. Second thing, it will offer low costs to the European country because इसमें costs reduce हो जाएंगी. So that is the whole criteria for licensing. Licensing will involve copyrights, patents, trademarks or trade names. These are the examples of licensing when some country is providing license for the business to the other country on international standards. So these are some examples. Firms with brand names can also come under this criteria where they are giving license to use their brand names in other countries कि आप उनका brand name use करके product अपने country में launch कर सकते हैं, but आपने quality assure करनी है और आपने same standards को focus करना है. Internet again facilitate कर सकता है in this regard using internet and finding manufacturers. Use manufacturers in foreign countries to produce some of their products as we discussed. आप foreign products foreign country में launch करने के लिए manufacturers find करेंगे और उनके through अपना product launch कर देंगे by giving them license. And it is that you will ask them कि हमारा product launch तो आप कर दें, but you are basically considering the specification that these are the specification which you have to focus and you have to launch the product on those lines and on those specifications. Now coming to the third criteria, which is franchising. How do we do that? That we are launching franchising. It obligates the firm to provide a specialized sale or service in other country. The parent company may provide assistance. Possibly the parent company may provide you the initial investment in exchange for the periodic fees. So उसमें क्या होगा कि आपकी जो parent company है, it will basically provide you with support, guidance to launch the franchise in other country. Secondly, they will also give you some initial investment in exchange for periodic fees कि आपको start में एक initial investment amount दे देंगे कि fine, you can start our product in your country with this investment amount, but in exchange for the periodic fee कि आपको by the passage of time periodic fees के through वो सारा amount return करना है. Examples क्या हो सकती हैं in this regard for franchising? McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Subway sandwiches that are owned and managed by local resident in many foreign countries. Now let's take the example of Pakistan. McDonald's launch हुआ in Pakistan. What happened? कि McDonald's की parent company ने maybe in Pakistan help किया पाकिस्तानी resident को या local resident who wants to start McDonald's in Pakistan with financial assistance. McDonald's parent company ने financial assistance दी पाकिस्तानी रेजिडेंट को कि ओके फाइन, ये हमारी इन्वेस्टमेंट, हम आपको थोड़ी सी इन्वेस्टमेंट भी स्टार्ट में दे रहे हैं कि आप पाकिस्तान में मैकडोनल्ड को सक्सेसफुल वे में लॉन्च कर सकते हैं. सेकेंडली, दे माइट प्रोवाइड यू असिस्टेंस कि आप क्वालिटी कैसे श्योर कर सकते हैं, आपको इसको एडवर्टाइज किस तरह से करना है. ऑल दीज क्राइटेरियाज and assistance will be provided by the parent company to launch McDonald's in Pakistan, so McDonald's can achieve the targets and it can help in maximizing the value of the McDonald's overall, and it can also increase the value of the shareholder wealth. Like licensing, franchising allows firms to penetrate into markets without major investments in foreign countries. जिस तरह हमने मैकडोनल्ड की एग्जांपल डिस्कस की, पाकिस्तान में मैकडोनल्ड लॉन्च किया, इनिशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट आपको पेरेंट कंपनी ने दे दी कि आप पाकिस्तान में मैकडोनल्ड को हायर स्टैंडर्ड्स के ऊपर लॉन्च कर दें. इन दैट केस व्हाट विल हैपन कि आपके पास इनिशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट तो है मैकडोनल्ड लॉन्च करने की, बट आफ्टरवर्ड्स इट इज योर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि आप मैकडोनल्ड को हायर स्टैंडर्ड्स पे लेके जाएंगे. ऑन द अदर हैंड, अगर आप पेरेंट कंपनी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से सोचें तो पेरेंट कंपनी ने सिर्फ इनिशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट की है पाकिस्तान में, बाकी इन्वेस्टमेंट पाकिस्तान की रेजिडेंट खुद करेंगे टू अचीव higher targets. So considering from their point of view, this point suggests that usually like licensing and franchising, firms penetrate into markets without major investment in foreign countries. Relaxation of barriers has promoted numerous franchising arrangements. Overall on international standards, जब आपके trade barriers reduce होते हैं तो आपकी franchising has been increased. In the past since 1990 we have focused कि बहुत कंट्रीज ने डिफरेंट ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स के थ्रू आपके ट्रेड बैरियर्स को रिड्यूस किया है. जब आपकी ट्रेड बैरियर्स कम हो जाते हैं, इन दैट केस ऑब्वियसली इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटीज इंक्रीज हो जाती हैं. इन दोज अपॉर्चुनिटीज ऑब्वियसली पीपल प्रेफर टू हैव मोर अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर फ्रेंचाइजिंग, सिंस दे नो कि आपको बहुत कम कॉस्ट में, बहुत कम इनिशियल बैलेंस के साथ किसी अदर कंट्री में यू कैन लॉन्च योर बिजनेस एंड देन यू कैन एंजॉय द इंक्रीज्ड वैल्यू ऑफ योर कंपनी. Another concept which is joint venture, by which you can go on international standard or your business can go on international standards. Joint venture is a venture that is jointly owned and operated by two or more firms. So it is a venture या एक agreement है between two firms के आप operate कर सकते हैं in together. For example, जनरल मिल्स की आप एग्जाम्पल ले लें. जॉइंट इन अ वेंचर विद नेस्ले, जनरल मिल्स ने नेस्ले के साथ एक जॉइंट वेंचर किया सो दैट द सीरियल्स प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय जनरल मिल्स कुड बी सोल्ड थ्रू द ओवरसीज सेल्स बाय नेस्ले. तो जो जनरल मिल्स प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस करेगा, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल ब्रेकफास्ट सीरियल्स प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, व्हाट विल हैपन, जनरल मिल्स सेल करेगा वो प्रोडक्ट under the brand name of Nestle. So that is a joint venture between General Mills and Nestle. That General Mills will produce the cereal according to the standards of Nestle and then they will sell that product under the brand name of Nestle. So that is joint venture. Xerox and Fuji Company of Japan is another example of joint venture when they started द बिजनेस. जॉइंट वेंचर में एक और पॉइंट है कि इसमें दोनों साइड पार्टीज को बेनिफिट है. हाउ डू दे डू दैट, लेट्स सी. Xerox Corporation and Fuji Company enter into a joint venture. Xerox ने और Fuji Company ने एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन कर लिया फॉर जॉइंट वेंचर. अब इससे दोनों को बेनिफिट किस तरह से होगा. जॉइंट वेंचर allowed Xerox to penetrate into Japanese market. Since Fuji is a Japanese brand, उससे क्या हुआ कि Xerox कंपनी को जापानीज मार्केट में एंटर होने का मौका मिल गया. How do Fuji will get benefit? How Fuji will take benefit out of it? Fuji entered into photocopying business. क्योंकि Fuji पहले photocopying business में नहीं था और Xerox is the standard name which is the brand name of photocopying. तो Fuji को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करने का मौका मिला टू एंटर इनटू फोटोकॉपिंग बिजनेस. सो बेनिफिट दोनों को हुआ. वन थिंग, Xerox ने जापानीज मार्केट में एंट्री ली और ऑन द अदर साइड फ्यूजी ने बेनिफिट लिया टू एंटर इनटू फोटोकॉपिंग बिजनेस विद अ वेरी बिग नेम ऑफ Xerox. So joint venture will help both the names to have the benefit. Joint venture will help both the businesses to take the benefit. Another example is for the General Motors that has ongoing joint ventures in many countries for automobile manufacturings. So General Motors basically क्या कर रहे हैं कि उनके different countries में they are having different types of joint ventures for the production of automobiles. So उनका एक ब्रांड नेम है, जिस कंट्री में भी जाएगा वो ब्रांड नेम उस कंट्री को बेनिफिट देगा. ऑन द अदर हैंड जनरल मोटर्स भी उन्हीं कंट्रीज की मार्केट में पेनिट्रेट करेगा और इससे दोनों कंट्रीज और कंपनीज को बेनिफिट होगा. सो जॉइंट वेंचर बेसिकली हेल्प्स बोथ द एंटिटीज टू टेक द बेनिफिट. Now there is another point how you can enter into the other market or into international standards. Earlier whatever we have discussed that does not give you the whole control of the other international business, while when we discuss acquisitions, what will happen in that case? In case of acquisition of existing operations in foreign countries, it will allow to quickly gain control over foreign operations as well as share of the foreign market. So what will happen? That you are taking the control of the whole company in foreign market since you are going to acquire it. For example, Procter and Gamble purchased a bleach company in Panama. So what will happen कि Procter and Gamble ने purchase कर लिया या acquire कर लिया whole setup जो bleach company का था in Panama. So what will happen कि control भी आपका Procter and Gamble के पास आ गया. So in that case, in acquisitions, basically Procter and Gamble control कर रहा है उस bleach company के operations को और purchase कर लिया तो obviously everything is in the hands of Procter and Gamble now. So in terms of acquisition, when you are trying to take over another business, so the whole control will be coming in your hands. There is a point that you can be subject to the risk of large losses because of the large investment required. इसमें क्या है? Usually acquisition occur होती है when you are thinking कि जो already existing business है वो या तो अच्छा perform नहीं कर रहा उस market में या फिर they don't have more financing to operate in the same company or same country. So acquisitions take place. अब जो हमने ब्लीच कंपनी की बात की, देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी कि ब्लीच कंपनी उस कंट्री में सही तरह से परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही और उसके प्रॉफिट्स डिक्लाइन हो रहे हैं एंड दे वांट टू सेल देयर कंपनी. हाउएवर प्रॉक्टर एंड गैम्बल क्योंकि एक बहुत बड़ा नाम है, प्रॉक्टर एंड गैम्बल इज ट्राइंग टू एक्वायर दैट कंपनी. व्हाट विल हैपन? प्रॉक्टर एंड गैम्बल जब एक्वायर करेगा ब्लीच कंपनी को तो ब्रांड नेम तो प्रॉक्टर एंड गैम्बल का यूज होगा फर्दर ऑनवर्ड्स, और क्योंकि उस कंपनी के लॉसेस हैं उस कंट्री में, so there is a risk for Procter and Gamble also that if you are involving large investment in that country, say Panama, and already bleach has been going for the losses in that country, after acquisition there is a possibility कि Procter and Gamble को भी उतना profit ना हो जितना वो expect कर रहे हैं. So in that case एक्विजिशन में ऑब्वियसली चांसेस हैं कि आप अपना पूरा का पूरा सेटअप पनामा से खरीद रहे हैं ब्लीच कंपनी का और रिस्क ले रहे हैं हायर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स का अपने नाम के साथ. सो देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी कि आपको भी लॉस हो सकता है. सम फर्म्स एंटर इनटू पार्शियल इंटरनेशनल एक्विजिशंस. Why? क्योंकि as we discussed कि आप अगर ब्लीच कंपनी पूरी की पूरी ले रहे हैं, एक्वायर कर रहे हैं, so there is a possibility of risks attached to that. So what you can do is कि आप एंटर कर सकते हैं एक ऐसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में where you are basically trying to acquire the firm on partial basis. What will happen? कि आपके पास उस कंपनी का फुल कंट्रोल नहीं आएगा और आप पार्शियल कंट्रोल के साथ उस कंपनी को एक्वायर कर सकते हैं. बेनिफिट क्या होगा? दैट यू आर बेसिकली रिक्वायरिंग स्मॉल इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. आपको मेजर इन्वेस्टमेंट्स नहीं करनी क्योंकि आप पार्शियल कंट्रोल ले रहे हैं. इन दैट केस आपके पास स्मॉल इन्वेस्टमेंट्स के साथ ही आप एक्विजिशन कर सकते हैं. अदर बेनिफिट एज वी डिस्कस्ड कि अगर आप फुल कंट्रोल ले रहे हैं ब्लीच कंपनी का तो आपके पास रिस्क के चांसेस ज्यादा हैं. ऑन द अदर हैंड अगर आप पार्शियल इन्वेस्टमेंट कर रहे हैं, पार्शियल एक्विजिशन कर रहे हैं, सो देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट यू आर एक्सपोज टू लेस रिस्क. In that case, firms don't get full control over the foreign operations. As I told you earlier, कि जब आप partial investment करेंगे तो क्योंकि आप full payment नहीं कर रहे, आप acquisition में full acquire नहीं कर रहे, what will happen? कि आपके पास full control भी नहीं होगा. Partial control, partial investment, low risk and small investment के साथ आप acquisitions launch कर रहे हैं. The last category is new foreign subsidiaries. That in that case, what will happen? कि आपने सोचा that you want to go on international business, and what you can do is you can launch new foreign subsidiaries, and firms can also penetrate foreign markets by establishing new foreign subsidiaries. So in that regard, that is another option for you, that rather than going for acquisition, for franchising, for licensing, for international trade, you are basically trying to launch a new foreign subsidiary in a foreign market and you are entering into international business. Many multinational companies use a combination of methods to increase international business. Now it is not necessary कि क्योंकि आपने licensing की हुई है तो आप acquisition नहीं कर सकते, या फिर आपने क्योंकि acquisition की हुई है तो आप franchising नहीं कर सकते. बहुत सारी multinational companies can do their international business by using multiple methods. कि आपने for example at a time acquisitions भी की हुई हैं, franchising भी की हुई है, आपने licensing भी की हुई है, आप international trade में भी involved हैं. So it is not necessary that you can go abroad with your international business by applying only one method of international business. You can launch by applying different combination of methods or techniques, and usually MNCs or multinational companies use a combination methods to increase their international business. This method is preferred over acquisitions since you get tailored operations as the firm require. अब हम बात करें न्यू फाइनेंशियल फॉरेन सब्सिडरीज की, where it is basically preferable, companies prefer करती हैं फॉरेन सब्सिडरीज लॉन्च करना rather than having acquisitions. Why? Because acquisition में तो हमने डिस्कस किया कि या तो आप फुल एक्वायर कर लेंगे या फिर आप पार्शियल एक्विजिशंस करेंगे. इन दैट केस या तो आपके हाथ में फुल कंट्रोल होगा या फिर आपके हाथ में पार्शियल कंट्रोल होगा. ऑन द अदर हैंड, इफ यू आर लॉन्चिंग अ न्यू सब्सिडरी इन foreign markets, what will happen कि you are basically trying to have tailored operations, क्योंकि आप एक नई सब्सिडरी लॉन्च कर रहे हैं तो उसके सारे operations आप खुद डिजाइन कर रहे हैं, which is a benefit for you because you are trying to launch something on your own and you are trying to apply the methods which you like rather than acquiring some other firm who already has designed their different methods, different techniques, they had their terms and conditions and everything. Now you are trying to focus to acquire them and then you are trying to bring them on your own methods, which is a bit difficult. In this case, obviously, you prefer कि rather than acquiring another business, it is preferable that you should try to launch a new subsidiary in another market, but obviously for that the effort will be involved. Now these were the methods which we have discussed about going on international standards, that how you can go on international standards. Let's discuss what is direct foreign investment. In general, any method of conducting business that requires a direct investment in foreign operations is referred to as direct foreign investment. So कोई भी method जो आपको business conduct करने के लिए directly link करे foreign operations के साथ और जिसमें आपकी direct investments involved हैं, उसको हम direct foreign investment के नाम से जानेंगे. और while we will be moving on the other lectures, the DFI or direct foreign investment will be used, this term will be used quite oftenly. So you should know students that कि हम direct foreign investment उसको कहते हैं जब कोई भी मेथड अप्लाई करने के लिए आप इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड के ऊपर जाएं और आपके पास डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट्स इन्वॉल्व हो इन फॉरेन ऑपरेशंस, सो दैट विल बी कॉल्ड डायरेक्ट फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट. आपको इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस लॉन्च करने के लिए व्हेन यू वांट टू डू डायरेक्ट फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट, यू नीड सम टाइप ऑफ इंटरनेशनल अपॉर्चुनिटीज. What are international opportunities? Obviously, opportunities क्या हैं? जब आपको returns मिलेंगे. The marginal return on multinational company projects are more than the domestic firms. Why? आपके पास marginal returns multinational companies में ज़्यादा आते हैं rather than domestic firms. Marginal returns क्या हैं? जो आपके पास एडिशनल रिटर्न्स आ रहे हैं बाय योर एडिशनल प्रोजेक्ट्स. मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज के पास रिटर्न ज्यादा आते हैं और उसकी क्या वजह है? बिकॉज मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज हैव एक्सपेंडेड देयर अपॉर्चुनिटी सेट्स ऑफ पॉसिबल प्रोजेक्ट्स फ्रॉम विच टू सिलेक्ट. मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज जो हैं उनके पास अपॉर्चुनिटी सेट्स ज्यादा हैं, उन्होंने इंक्रीज किया हुआ है अपने बिजनेस को, सो ऑब्वियसली रिटर्न्स की अपॉर्चुनिटीज ज्यादा हैं उनके पास. So when we are discussing the investment opportunities in terms of domestic and multinational companies, so you should know कि multinational companies के पास opportunities ज़्यादा हैं than domestic firms because उनका opportunity set या फिर उनके पास क्योंकि उनका business launch हुआ है on international standards and they can basically have more profits and more returns from different categories from international businesses to in different countries. So obviously domestic companies के पास उतनी opportunities ज़्यादा नहीं है, तो जो return होगा multinational companies का that is higher than the domestic companies. Now considering the financing opportunities, as we know कि investment opportunities तो आपकी multinational companies के पास ज़्यादा हैं क्योंकि उनके पास opportunities ज़्यादा है, उनके पास returns के chances ज़्यादा हैं from different businesses. Financing opportunities को जब आप discuss करेंगे, so who will get more? What do you think? Multinational companies or domestic companies? Let's discuss it. Multinational companies can obtain capital funding at lower cost due to their larger opportunity set of funding sources around the world. Again, in case of financing opportunities, multinational companies के पास ज़्यादा opportunities हैं to get the financing. Why? Because they have huge setups in different countries, and in that regard, when you are having huge setups in different countries, so you are having multiple opportunities for financing since you are operating in different countries and you have the opportunity to get financing from different sources. However, when we discuss it on domestic standards, so we know it कि domestic level के पास आपके पास financing opportunities are quite low. In that case, financing की जो opportunities हैं वो multinational companies के पास ज़्यादा हैं क्योंकि वो different countries में work कर रहे हैं, तो financing भी different sources से हो सकती है. However, if you are a domestic business or you are having a domestic type of business, in that case, आपके पास financing opportunities भी कम होंगी as compared to multinational companies. Now I'm going to discuss a figure on the next slide where we will discuss the investment opportunities and financing opportunities for the domestic firms as well as multinational companies. Each horizontal step will represent the marginal return for the firm, so that you should know whether it is a multinational company or it is an international company. Marginal returns each step के ऊपर आपके horizontal line में show हो रहे हैं. You have to focus from left to right projects, and because the projects are prioritized कि उनको priority दी हुई है उन्हीं steps के accordingly, and you have to move on that diagram from left to right on the basis of marginal returns. Firms will opt for those options that produce higher marginal returns. Now let's move on to the slides where we are discussing the diagram. So you should know 2 or 3 things. One thing, the horizontal line should represent the marginal return of the firm. Second thing, that they are basically divided or given the priority in that diagram. Third thing, that firms will opt for those businesses. Obviously this is the common sense कि आप वो business adopt करेंगे जहां से आपको marginal return ज़्यादा मिल रहा है. Now let's focus on this diagram where we can see कि आपका cost benefit evaluation है for purely domestic firms and मल्टीनेशनल फर्म्स. सो उसमें क्या है आप देख लें, आपके एक्स एक्सिस के ऊपर एसेट लेवल ऑफ द फर्म इज डिफाइंड कि आपकी कंपनी के एसेट्स कितने हैं. ऑन द वाई एक्सिस यू हैव मार्जिनल रिटर्न ऑन द प्रोजेक्ट्स. आपके एसेट्स ऑन एक्स एक्सिस, आपके मार्जिनल रिटर्न्स ऑन वाई एक्सिस. नाउ यू कंसिडर द टू basically steps wise lines where the priorities are defined on this graph. First line, the bottom one, is for purely domestic firms and the projects or the investment opportunities available for domestic firms, while the other line, which is the top one, is multinational companies investment opportunities, and each step from left to right is basically offering you the priority. Now when we are discussing the investment opportunities, so you can see कि जो multinational companies की line है that is higher than the domestic companies. Since we discussed कि जो multinational companies हैं they get more benefit and they get more returns, so they have more investment opportunities since they are operating in different countries. So उनकी जो आपकी horizontal lines आ रही हैं multinational company की is above the purely domestic firms because domestic firms have got less opportunities. So what will happen? These are the investment opportunities. So it should be clear in your mind कि आपके left to right opportunities available हैं different businesses की to multinational companies and purely domestic firms, and you are focusing on marginal returns and you will choose those marginal returns where you are getting at highest level. So the companies should choose those projects जहाँ पे आपके marginal returns higher हैं. When we are discussing marginal returns obviously for the company, so you cannot ignore the fact that marginal costs are also important क्योंकि जब आप returns को focus कर रहे हैं तो आपने costs को भी focus करना है. Now these are the lines which are showing marginal cost of capital which represent the financing opportunities available for purely domestic firms and multinational companies. You can see that as the asset level of firm is increasing, आपकी marginal cost of capital जो है वो भी increase कर रही है. Asset level of the firm आपके x axis पे given है. जो आपका asset level increase कर रहा है, आपकी marginal cost of capital का curve further upward जा रहा है. That means both of them having a same type of relationship कि जब आप asset level को increase करेंगे तो आपकी costs भी increase हो जाएंगी. We will also discuss the level of assets in terms कि जब आप assets को increase करना चाहते हैं अपनी company में, so there is a point that it is possible that you don't have enough finances to increase the assets level. What will happen in that case? What you need to do in that case? Obviously, you need to have some type of financing opportunities or debt opportunities. If you have more debts to increase your profit or to increase your assets, what will happen? Since you have got those financing opportunities and you are having more debts, in that case you have to pay more interest rates. जब आप ज़्यादा interest rates pay करेंगे तो obviously आपकी costs increase हो रही हैं. In this diagram you have to focus on that point, which is the point where marginal costs of domestic firms are touching the marginal returns on the projects of the domestic firms. So the point of intersection जहाँ पे आपके marginal costs की line marginal returns को touch कर रही हैं, that is the point of X, which you can see at the bottom line of X axis. This is the point where domestic firms should stop accepting the projects, because after that point आपकी costs increase हो रही हैं. While if you consider the multinational companies, you have to focus the intersection point where the marginal cost of capital curve is touching the horizontal line of marginal return on projects. And if you bring that line down and touch it to your x-axis, that gives you point Y. So that is the appropriate size for multinational companies, where you should say, okay, fine, this is the point where multinational companies should stop accepting further projects since the costs are going on the maximum level, or they are getting more than the returns and they are getting quite higher. So if you see the appropriate size of purely domestic firm, that is X, which is represented on the horizontal line of x-axis, while if you consider the appropriate size for the multinational companies, so that is point Y, where you focus that multinational companies should stop accepting projects after that points. So you can see this diagram again, where marginal returns and marginal costs are defined for multinational companies and domestic firms, and we have discussed that companies should accept project, the domestic companies should accept project up to point X, and multinational companies should accept projects up to point Y, because beyond that point the costs are getting more than the returns. The figure shows the cost of capital curve for domestic and international firms. The cost of capital increases with asset size. What will happen if you want to increase the asset size? Because you will require more debt to finance. To get more financing opportunities, when you will get more debt, what will happen? You will have increased interest payments, because आपको debt pay off करना है क्योंकि आपने asset size increase किया अपनी company में. When you will increase the debt, or when you will have more debt, you will have to pay more interest. In that case, there is a greater possibility of being unable to meet debt obligations. So अगर आपने बहुत ज़्यादा asset size को increase कर दिया है और बहुत ज़्यादा loan ले लिया है, उससे क्या होगा कि आपकी probability है कि आप future में अपना loan easily pay back नहीं कर सकेंगे. अगर आप loans को easily pay नहीं कर सकते और cost of capital rises to a firm with its volume of assets, what will happen? Obviously आपको या तो बिजनेस खत्म करना पड़ेगा या आपकी कंपनी डिफॉल्ट हो जाएगी. So what you need to focus is, first of all, if marginal costs exceeds the marginal returns, the firms should not pursue with such projects. So first of all, you have to focus, okay fine, you are launching a business on international standards, but whether the costs are lower than your marginal returns or not. अगर तो आपकी costs, marginal costs low हैं from your marginal returns, then it's fine. But if marginal costs are higher than marginal returns, so that means कि आपकी costs ज़्यादा हैं और benefits कम हैं, returns कम हैं. So that is a common sense कि जब आपके पास costs ज़्यादा हैं और returns कम हैं, so what is the point to start your international business over there? और अगर आप बहुत ज़्यादा फाइनेंसिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ को ढूंढ रहे हैं और इन दैट केस आपके पास फाइनेंसिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको मिल जाती है, आप अपना एसेट साइज तो इंक्रीज कर देते हैं लेकिन लोन की वैल्यू इतनी ज़्यादा है कि उसको पे बैक नहीं कर सकते और इन दैट केस आपको डिफॉल्ट करना पड़ जाता है. व्हाट विल हैपन? ऑब्वियसली यू विल रोल बैक. सो वन थिंग यू शुड कीप इन योर माइंड कि अगर आपने बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है, सो इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे जाने से पहले यू शुड नो कि मार्जिनल रिटर्न्स आर हायर देन द मार्जिनल कॉस्ट्स. For domestic firms, except projects up to point X, which we have discussed, after that your marginal returns will be lower than the marginal costs. For MNCs, you should accept project up to point Y, where we know that is the point. After that point, you will get lower returns than your costs. And after that point, the marginal cost of additional project will exceed your expected benefits. So we have discussed different type of financing opportunities available in your different criterias available for your financing opportunities, and we have also discussed the investment opportunities. Now let's discuss some examples from the real world where we have seen that different countries have promoted international businesses. How did they do that? First of all, we will discuss the opportunities available in Europe. What they did was that they wanted to go on international standards, and to avoid different types of risks, European countries thought that they should start a single European Act, which they launched in 1987. They started to have uniform regulations and they removed the taxes. Like European countries ने strengthen होके European Union form की, और उन European countries ने decide कर लिया that they will have same type of regulations, they will also remove the taxes, so European countries आपस में trade easily कर सकेंगे, और in that case international trade or international business will be promoted. The removal of Berlin Wall was another point where the international business was promoted. So in that case, जब Berlin Wall को turn down किया, in that case it was a major step where European countries thought that they can promote their businesses in those areas or in those countries. Then there was inception of Euro in 1999, that they launched a same currency which is Euro, and they decided कि to avoid exchange rate risks, say for example European countries में Italy, Germany, they thought that rather than exchanging different currencies, they will be obviously exposed to exchange rate risk. What they will do is they will introduce a new currency. So all European countries, Union decided that they should have a common currency. They introduced a common currency which is Euro. So when European countries are dealing with each other, so they should not use a different type of currency, but they will use the same currency. So what will happen if they are using the same type of currency? So they are trying to avoid the exchange rate risks, which was a major risk and which is a major threat for each international business कि आपके exchange rate fluctuations बहुत ज़्यादा होती हैं. उस चीज़ को avoid करने के लिए, international business को promote करने के लिए, European countries decided that they will introduce a same currency, a same unit of currency, so they should avoid exchange rate fluctuations. The expansion of European Union was also a major step, where they invited other countries to become the members. The objective of forming European Union was that they should reduce the restriction that were basically applied on trade. So first point was that the restriction on trade will be reduced. So जितनी restrictions हैं उनको कम कर दें और international trade को promote करें. Wages are low in some of the member countries. European Union में जितने countries हैं उनमें से कुछ ऐसे हैं जहां पर wages का criteria is very low. Wages बहुत कम है. So उन low wages से benefit ले सकते हैं वो countries जहां पर wages बहुत high हैं. MNCs have started their manufacturing plants in other countries. So obviously जब एक union बन गई European countries की and they invited different countries to become their members, what happened? That they enjoyed the benefit of low wages. They also started to have their own manufacturing plants in other countries, and governments in EU countries also promoted MNCs to offer reduced taxes with incentives. Basically governments ने introduce कराए reduced taxes और further incentives दिए different multinational companies को to launch their businesses. So when European Union started, first of all they started with an act that they should reduce trade barriers. Secondly, they joined all the European countries and they formed an agreement. They made a European Union, and then they launched a common currency, which is Euro, to avoid exchange rate risk, which is a major threat for international business all the time. And then they asked, okay fine, we have launched a single currency. Now in European Union they started to ask more members to join. When more members joined European countries, what they did was, first of all, there were some countries where the wages were low, and they asked, or they take the benefit of those wages, low wages, since the wages in their own countries were quite high. तो कुछ countries जिनमें wages low थे उसका benefit मिल गया उन countries को जहाँ wages high हैं. Secondly, they also, since they made the European Union, so it was easy to start or manufacturing plants in different countries. So they basically try to launch the countries who wanted to launch their own manufacturing plants in other European countries started to do that. Or governments in European countries, they also facilitated the international businesses in this regard, that they offered low taxes and high incentives to international businesses. So in that sense, everyone was taking benefit out of it. So students, let's wind up with this lecture, and I'll give you the overview for the whole discussion which we have done it till now. First thing, we have defined different common methods which are basically involved while you are going abroad to start your international business, and these methods involved first of all international trade, in which simply the imports and exports are involved. Second thing, we discussed about licensing, where we discussed that one country or one company give the license to the other company that okay fine, you can start the business with my license in other country, but the main concern for that country or company is the quality assurance, that whatever is going on in your parent company that should be adopted by the other company or country who is taking license to run your business in their areas. Then we discussed the franchising criteria, where we discussed our example of McDonald's, that you are basically starting franchising in different countries, and again quality is a concern over there. You can also start a joint venture with where two companies are basically launching their business, and we discussed that benefit दोनों companies को हो सकता है. Say for example Xerox और Fuji's की हमने बात की. Fuji's since they are the Japanese firm, तो Xerox अगर enter कर रही है a contract with Fuji company, so what they are doing is that they are also entering into Japanese market. So Xerox has got the benefit that they will enter into a new country's market, while Fuji has the benefit कि Xerox क्योंकि एक brand name है, एक major name है, Fuji has got a contract with Xerox, and Fuji को benefit है to start photocopying business. Acquisition of existing operations we have discussed, where we discussed okay fine, these are the criteria that you can either go for the full acquisition where you will have the full control of the company, but if you are taking the full control of the company, then there are risks attached to it कि आपकी financing में भी possibility है that you might gonna lose your finances. On the other hand, to avoid this thing, you might go for the partial type of investment opportunities. What will happen कि उस केस में आपको investment partial करनी है, risks भी low है लेकिन benefits ज़्यादा है. Finally, we discussed that above all these criteria, you can also go for the establishing new foreign subsidiaries, that you can launch new foreign subsidiaries in different countries, and you prefer those because you can focus on tailor-made operations, because you can launch those operations what you want, because एक नई subsidiary launch हो रही है. So whatever you want to do, you can do it. Your operations will be in your hand, क्योंकि आपने acquisition नहीं किया जिसमें already standard defined थे, आपने नई subsidiary launch किया. So in that case you are enjoying the tailor-made operations in that subsidiary. Then we also discussed the investment opportunities for multinational companies and domestic companies, and we discussed कि domestic companies के पास investment opportunities ज़्यादा नहीं होती as compared to multinational companies. Why? Because multinational companies abroad में और international countries में basically exist कर रही हैं, तो उनके पास investment opportunities ज़्यादा हैं, उनके returns या marginal returns achieve करने के chances ज़्यादा हैं. However, when we are focusing on financial opportunities, the same thing goes with those also, with the multinational again, that they have more financing opportunities since their opportunity set is greater than the domestic firms. आप different countries में अपना business कर रहे हैं, आपको finances चाहिए, तो obviously आपके पास financial opportunities दूसरे countries में और domestic country में ज़्यादा हैं, क्योंकि आपका business large scale के ऊपर work कर रहा है different countries में. One criteria which is to be kept all the time in your mind, that you should go for the projects where marginal returns are higher than the marginal costs, and you are trying to get benefit rather than putting yourself into some type of risks. अगर marginal costs आपके marginal returns से ज़्यादा होगी, that means आपको loss हो रहा है, आपके पास returns आपकी cost से कम आ रहे हैं. In that case, you should avoid those projects. So for either you are a multinational company or you are a domestic firm, you should focus on the criteria where marginal returns are greater than the marginal costs.